What environmental damage results from civilian object destruction? Imagine a peaceful landscape suddenly torn apart by conflict. When civilian objects like homes, schools, or natural areas are destroyed during war, the damage goes beyond just buildings. It can seriously harm the environment in many ways. Civilian objects are all non-military items, including forests, water sources, farms, and even parks. Under international humanitarian law, these objects are protected unless they are used for military purposes. When these objects are attacked or destroyed, the environment often suffers immediate damage. For example, bombing factories or oil refineries can release toxic chemicals into the air, soil, and water. This pollution can poison drinking water, kill wildlife, and make land unusable for farming. Attacks on energy plants can cause fires that releases harmful smoke and chemicals into the atmosphere. Sometimes, environmental destruction is used intentionally to spread fear or cut off resources from the enemy. Cities are especially vulnerable. Fighting in urban areas can leave behind unexploded bombs, landmines, and debris. These remnants can contaminate soil and water for decades, creating long-lasting hazards. The natural environment in cities, like parks and green spaces, often gets destroyed either directly by combat or indirectly when civilians cut down trees for fuel or shelter during sieges. This loss of greenery and natural cover worsens environmental degradation. The damage does not end when the fighting stops. Unexploded bombs and landmines can make large areas unsafe for farming or rebuilding for many years. This forces communities to overuse remaining natural resources, leading to deforestation, soil erosion, and loss of biodiversity. When governance collapses during war, waste management systems break down, causing more pollution from garbage and sewage. Illegal activities like poaching or unregulated mining can also harm ecosystems further. The impact on civilians is significant. Polluted water and soil can cause health problems like poisoning and disease. Loss of farmland and natural resources threatens food security and livelihoods, making recovery harder. Environmental damage can delay the return of refugees and displaced persons, prolonging humanitarian crises. International humanitarian law considers the natural environment as a civilian object and protects it from attack. Rules like Article 35 of the First Additional Protocol prohibit methods of warfare that cause widespread, long-term, and severe environmental damage. However, if parts of the environment are used for military purposes, such as forests providing cover for troops, they may lose their protected status and become lawful targets. Even then, attacks must follow principles of distinction, proportionality, and precaution to avoid unnecessary harm. Destruction of civilian objects is only allowed if it is absolutely necessary for military reasons and no other options exist. Any excessive or unnecessary damage violates international law and can be considered a war crime. Military forces are expected to assess environmental risks before operations and take steps to minimize harm. After conflicts, cleanup and environmental assessments are often needed to restore safety and health. In summary, destroying civilian objects during war causes serious environmental harm that affects air, water, soil, and biodiversity. This damage endangers civilian health, livelihoods, and the chances for recovery after conflict. International humanitarian law offers protections for the environment and civilian objects, but these protections have limits when objects are used for military purposes. Following these rules helps reduce environmental harm and protects civilians during and after war.